Welcome parents and students to another study session. This is Mr. Veszpeller's class. Today's lesson is on page 91 and 92. It's Unit 1, Lesson 18. In class we already reviewed number 2 and number 4. So let's look at number 1. Maylee rode her bike 10 miles every day for 5 days. How many miles did she ride? Remember, we want to circle the important numbers. Every day is the same as each day, so we know we multiply or divide. We underlined a question. And then how many miles? Miles is going to be our label. So this is I would say this is equal groups, and we don't have a total. We have the number of days, so this would be the group, and this would be the size of the group. So there's 10 miles in each group, 10 miles in every day. So it's usually it's 5 groups of 10 or 5 days of 10 miles. Remember, multiplying by 10 is really easy, or we could just skip count by 10 5 times. The answer is 50. Remember to label. Tony hung some photographs on one wall in his room. He hung them in 3 rows. Rows means it's going to be an array with 4 photos in each row. Each means we multiply or divide. Question, how many photos did Tony hang? And it's implied that we're asking all together or in all. So we're asked to find the total. If we don't have the total, then we multiply. So it's 3 rows of 4. We should know our 3s and our 4s. The answer is 12, and this is the label. 12 photos. At the Shady Acres stable, there were 5 horses in each barn. There are 4 barns. Question, how many horses are on Shady Acres? Horses is going to be our label. So we have to determine, do we know the total? We don't. So we're going to multiply. Each means to multiply or divide. We don't have a total, but we have groups and we have a size of group. The group is a barn, and the barn is holding horses. So it's 4 groups of 5 equals, and you can go 5 groups of 4, so we just count by 5 4 times. If you count by 5 4 times, it's 5, 10, 15, 20. And we boxed horses. Danielle has 35 dolls in her collection. Wow, that looks like a total, so let's talk about that. She wants to display them on 5 shelves with the same number on each shelf. Question, how many dolls should she put on each shelf? If you have a total, but you don't have the size of the group or the number of groups, then you divide. So you're dividing 35 into segments. So 5 shelves is the same as 5 rows. So we need to know how much is on each row or each shelf. This is going to be our label. We box that. So 35 divided among 5 shelves equals, well, you count by 5s till you get to 35. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. Stop. How many groups? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 dolls are on each shelf. Is that a reasonable answer? Yeah, I could see 7 dolls being on each shelf. Let's skip. By the way, Leslie has 72 balloons, so let's do that real quick. That's a total. She had 9 balloons left after she gave away 72 balloons at a fair. She only had 9 left. It seems like it would be a subtraction problem, but look at this. How many balloons did she start with? So she started with more than she gave away, so you actually have to add the 9. Why are we all of a sudden giving you an addition? Well, it's really groups of 9. How many groups of 9 are in 72? 8. So one more group would be 9 groups. So 9 groups of 9 is 81. So the answer is 81. How do we get that? 72, and then you add back what's left, and the answer is 81 balloons is what you started with. Okay, does it make sense? We could even subtract. If we started with 81 and now we have 72, so we could subtract, and 1 take away 2, you can't do it. You have to ungroup. That becomes a 7. 11 take away 2 is 9. 7 take away 7 is 0. Sorry. So 9 balloons left. That's correct. Sorry about that. I just realized it would make more sense to subtract 72 and 9. So subtract 9 from 72. So you can't take 9 away from 2, so we ungroup. 12 take away 9 is 3. Bring down your 6. I'm all over the place. Sorry about that. Well, we did it in class. We did it correctly. So we started off with 81 balloons. 9 are left, so 81 minus 9 equals 72, or 72 plus 9 equals 81. It's been a long day. We could do this real quick. Pepe sent 15 gifts to his family members. He sent an equal amount of gifts to 3 different addresses. How many gifts did he send to each address? Gifts is going to be our label. Now this is our total. He sent a total of 15. We divided by 3, so the answer is 5 gifts to each address. So that's pretty reasonable. It's very generous. 60 students are in the marching band. There are 10 rows, so this is an array. There are 10 rows of students. How many students are in each row? So 60 divided by 10 equals 6. 6 students. Is that a reasonable answer to have 6 students in each row in a marching band? Yes. I think my marching band had 6 in one row. There are 9 players on a baseball team. There are 6 teams in the league. It's going to be a big number, right? Because a league is made up of a group of teams. How many baseball players are in the league? So you're asked to find the total, and when you're asked to find the total, you're multiplying. 9 times 6. Use your fingers for the magic 9 if you don't know it. If you multiply any number by 9, the answer is going to be 1 less than what you're multiplying. How many more to make 9? 5 plus 4 is 9. 54 players. Here's the question. How many players are in the league? Told you it's going to be a big number, and that makes sense. This is the one that I'd like to really spend a lot of time, really review. This is called associative property, and we do the parentheses first. 2 times 4 is 8. 5 times 8 is 40. And if they give you another one that's 5 times blank times 4, well, you know the answer is going to be 2. 24 times 1 is 24. This is 9 times 5 is 45. And so now each problem, you have to read each problem. That's the first thing you have to do. Decide what type of problem it is. Is it one of these problems? Then write the letter, that's number 3, from this list, either A, B, C, D, or E. And then finally, 4, you write an equation, and then 5, you solve the problem. Wow, a lot to do. Mrs. Patel puts away the crayons. The box holds 63 crayons. She puts 9 in each row, so it's going to be an array. How many rows does the box have? So if we have a total and we're missing the size of the group, or how many rows there are, the size of the row, or how many rows there are, then it's a division. So you put the total out in front, you divide it by the number, there's 9 in each row. So to figure out how many rows, you divide. 9 goes into 63 7 times. 7 rows. Jackson is planting a garden. He puts 10 corn seeds in a row. If he plants 5 rows of seeds, how many corn seeds does he plant? So we're asked to find the total, and if we don't know the total, this is the title. If we don't know the total, then we're multiplying. Here we had the total, so we divide. Here we don't know the total, so we multiply. So it's actually 5 rows of 10, or 10 times 5 is 50 corn seeds. Is that reasonable? Yes. Write an equation and solve the problem. The team has 32 baseball bats in a bag. That's the total. There are 4 bags of bats, so the group is 4. How many in each group? 32 divided by 4 is 8. How many bats are in each bag? It's reasonable to think there's 8 bats in each bag. So show your work. I see it's an equal groups. It's going to be equal groups problem. And because we have the total, it's going to be, oh, you know what I forgot to do? And we did this in class. We forgot to write what kind of problem this is. So write an equation, solve the problem. We have the total, and it's going to be equal groups. So the total is up here, 32, and we have 4 bags. That's the number of groups. 4 bags. Now we need the size of the bag. So the unknown group size. We don't know the group size. So we can do division, equal groups, and the answer is D. How do we solve this one? Well, it's division. We see that it's a row, so it's an array. Array division, B. This has a row too, so it's array. We needed to find the total, so we multiplied. So it's array multiplication. This is A. All right. Each of 5 children are holding up 10 fingers. Explain 3 different ways to find out how many fingers are being held. So 5 children times 3. 5 children are holding up, sorry, where did I get the 3? Are holding up 10 fingers. Okay. So there's 50 fingers being held up. So we can have, one way is to just
testing 1 2 3, testing 1 2 3.
Okay. We could divide this up. 5 children, we could do 5 children times 10. We could divide this up. 5 children are holding up, we could divide this up to 5 plus 5. So first we add up split this up